All right, when we finished up the last problem, we had this as our problem statement, and then we had this as our flow chart, and then this is our code. We use if else if here, we use if else if here, and then our code we use switch because switch is the most efficient way to do one of many. Now we want to add one more piece of complexity to this now that we've done it, and we're going to start with the flow chart. If I have my flow chart here and I go ahead and run it, and the child's name is Susie, and she likes trucks. So I'm going to put trucks. Child's name is Susie, Toyota type is trucks, and there is no value. Well, why isn't there any value? And the reason why there's no value is that we had to type in truck, and we typed in trucks. So that kind of error, we want to do something called error checking and error trapping. Now, in this class, being a first-time class, we're not going to get a deep dive. I don't expect your applications to be what we call bulletproof, which means that there's no way that the user can break your application. In fact, professional developers know that customers seems like, or clients or users, their only function in life is to try to break your application. So we try to do bulletproof it so they can't break it. Well, here, a very easy break. If they mistype toy type, then we're not going to get a zero value, and we want to mitigate that. So we're going to come down here, and if it tests each of these and doesn't come up with one true, that means that a person has mistyped the value. So we're going to do two things here. One is we need to let the system know an error has occurred. So we're going to use a variable called error flag, and that's not any magic word. It's just if you put that in your code, a person knows why that's there. Now, by default, Visual Logic automatically puts zeros in for everything. And we want to change it from 0 to 1. That means that we've turned on the error flag and an error has occurred. The second thing we want to do is we want to put an output here to let the user know that an error has occurred so they can fix it. So here I'm going to put in, and you're going to put the same thing in every time, pretty much. It is you typed, and it's very important you put a space here so everything doesn't run together. And then I'm going to join that with toy type. And then I'm going to join that with the rest of my text. So I'm going to put a space again at the beginning of that so that this doesn't all run together. I'm going to say you should have typed, and then we want to show people what they should have. So it should have been ball, frisbee. Actually, what I should do is I should not be typing this from memory. I should copy this. There we go. Much better. Now let's go ahead and see what happens when we run this application. Child's name is Susie, and she likes trucks. So it says you typed trucks. You should have typed one of these. Now I can go, well, what did I do wrong? Oh, I see. It should be truck. And then I will know. But look what happens. I still get a stinky result at the end. So we want to mitigate that stinkiness by also changing the end of our code. That's why we put that error flag equals 1. We're going to also put a decision here. And that decision here is going to be error flag equals 0. So if error flag equals 0, a mistake didn't happen. And if that's true, then I'm going to do my normal end of my code. What do I do if error flag is 1? I'm going to do this. So I'm going to copy this and paste it in over here. Now for your flow chart, that's going to look kind of strange because when an error occurs, it's going to give this same box, this pop-up twice. But we do it this way so that when we code it, this will be an alert, which means it pops up just like it does in Visual Logic. But down here, this is going to be a document write, so it stays on the screen after the code is over. So let's go ahead and play this. Again, Susie. And Susie likes the truck. And you can see that everything works fine. Now let's make an error. Susie, whoops. And she likes trucks. And you can see that pops up, and then it pops up again. But then the thing closes, so we don't get the stinky result we had before. So again, 2 different things we do in our flow chart. One is at the end of a false, when we have nothing going to happen if they didn't pick a right value, we're going to throw the error flag and we're going to tell them what they did wrong. Then after that, we're going to see if the error flag was thrown. If it was not, meaning it stayed at 0, we're going to do this. If it was, we're going to do that, and then it's going to end our code. After this week, the next thing we're going to do is loops, where things keep going around. And this is going to make a lot more sense when we do loops, because what we'll do is we'll tell a person what went wrong and let them place the information in. Here we have to have them stop the application and then rerun it again, which is kind of inefficient. But one step at a time, I want you to learn this first. So the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and code it.